Hello friends, this is Blu-ray Cinema, onto another video today. This is part 2 of ranking the Joe Dante films. Now we're off was 6 or 5, but I believe it's 5 now. Is I could change them if I want to, but I'm not going to. Which is number 5 is The Howling, which I reviewed on this channel. It's Joe Dante's first ever, and I could be wrong about that. Well, not first ever, but I say horror comedy kind of thing. Well, it's not a comedy, but it's horror. And Dick Miller is in his role as a librarian. Well, he runs a bookstore, and he's very good in it, very well good. And his D. Wallace Stone and her husband at the time has Robert Picardo as a werewolf. And the film's about a newspaper reporter who faces something in New York, possibly bitten by a werewolf. She don't know. All she sees is someone strange behind her, and so she takes a vacation onto a retreat, which is inhabited by werewolves, and it's run by a heavyset guy that was in the film Waxwork. And it's like a strange cult-like thing, and you don't know what's going on, and she's trying, to enjoy herself, and then at first her husband gets taken in by the stuff, and then she gets scratched by Robert Picardo because and then other news reporters go there or are there to investigate this, and they run to Robert Picardo, and I think one of them gets killed. And then at the end, no surprise, well, she didn't see it. DeWallace comes back from the States, goes back on her news, and then turns into a werewolf on camera. And then they end up killing her. And then runs to a little more surprise ending. Like all the werewolves and stuff you thought burned. Oh no, there's more. Well, I'm not gonna give it away, but if I do like The Howling, I do like it. I think it's very appreciated now. I think it was way back when, but I think it's more appreciated now than it ever was. And what's good in 4K and all the other stuff. Because I do have in 4K. My next one is one of my favorites, but I had to switch stuff around here, is the Burbs. And so you got Dick Miller, who plays the sanitation guy, along with Robert Picardo. You have the neighbors, which you have Tom Hanks in his first and only Joe Dante film. You have Carrie Fisher. You have Bruce Dern, who was in The Hole, and I think another Joe Dante film. You have Wendy Shaw as Bruce Dern's wife, and you have Corey Feldman in it. As a kid who's hangs around the neighbors. And about neighbors who, deal with their own, and then these new neighbors move in because one of their neighbors died, and basically they don't know if the next door neighbors are killers, or just weird neighbors, or what. And it's pretty good, you can call it a cult classic, you can call it black comedy. But I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's a good time. It gets weird. It gets kind of like in that weird kind of territory. But I love the film. That's why it's my number 4. It would be my number 3 or 2, but the other one's overrule, and you'll know why in a second. Number 3 is Inner Space, where this movie It's, I believe, and I could be wrong, Joe Dante's first sci-fi comedy. And you say, where's the Dick Miller role? Well, Dick Miller is the taxi cab driver in the first 10 minutes where Meg Ryan goes to leave, and he goes like, are you ready to? Are you getting in car, miss, or you know, are you wasting my time, or some shit like that? Some Dick Miller line there. But that's the only part he's in. But it's Dennis Miller shrinks down and then goes into accidentally Martin Short's body. And I'm gonna tell you what happens. And then you have Robert Picardo in it as the cowboy. Martin Short coming in a very good role. Him and Dennis Quaid play off very, very well. This is the time that Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan were either married or started dating. I think they met on Interspace or maybe before. I'm not sure. And then you have Kevin McCarthy in it, another Joe Dante staple. You have Rob Picardo, as I said, another Joe Dante staple. You have I forgot who else is in it, but it's pretty good. It's Martin Short doing all the work, and you have some green screen, and it's, I can say, it's a spy film. Yes, you have Dorinda Shaw as the girl that Martin Short kind of likes, but then he doesn't like, but he sort of likes. So yeah, but I had to rewatch it, and believe it or not, I liked it. I kind of liked it when I was younger, but I wasn't sure. Let me rewatch this again, and I like it. It's fun. It works. There's not too many flaws in it that I can see. But yeah, that's coming out 4K and a remastered Blu-ray soon by Arrow Films. In probably like about 2 months. 2 months from now. But if you haven't seen it, see it. It was made in 1987 and it still holds up. The Burbs was made in 1989 and that still holds up. And The Howling, which I should say came out in 1981, and that holds up pretty well. Now these two are neck and neck for me, so I just count as one, or count as 2 and 1, or 1 and 2. So I didn't write any notes down. If I do, sometimes I do, but if I don't, I don't. But my number 2 is, and 1 is Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Now, excuse me. Now, did I review Gremlins 1 and 2, Gremlins 1 or 2 on my channel? I don't think so. I didn't, but please let me know if I did in the comments below. If you like any of these films I'm mentioning, or you love them, and reasons why, or if you don't like them, please let me know in the comments below, and and like and all that good shit. Oh yeah, Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Gremlins is probably one of my top favorites. Well, Gremlins 1 and 2 are neck and neck for me. Because I love Gremlins as much as I love Gremlins, I love Gremlins 2 a little bit more. And people that have seen, and I think everybody that has seen Gremlins 2, or most of Gremlins, and that Miller plays the neighbor who gets caught with the Gremlins in 1 and 2. So I don't need to discuss that right now. Yeah. But yeah, but Gremlins 2 is great. There's not flaws in it, but Joe Dante didn't want to make another Gremlins film, so he did. So he redid the same stuff, except he did it in a New York City setting, sort of, and it's just great. So what do? You up the ante. You put in a situation where it's like they're in a little not mall, but little building where they can where they're filming TV, where they're where there's a science lab, where all this good stuff, and it works. It's great. And then you have two versions of it. You have the version that. All right, let me explain this because it's hard to explain unless you've seen it. Gremlins 2 in the middle, what he calls havoc, and then all of a sudden it's like it stops, and the version most people saw at the theater, I think, unless it was the other version, is the Hulk Hogan version where he stops the camera, looks at the camera, and said, "Wait, you Gremlins are taking away too much. Stop it and put this movie back on." He said, he does the Hulk Hogan stuff, blah, 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 boom. Now, the other version that may have been on home video years later, because this Gremlins 2 came out in 1990, Gremlins was 84, is they didn't go Hulk Hogan, they just switched to footage of John Wayne movies, and then they went back to where it was after the Hogan stuff. But which one do I prefer? The Hulk Hogan thing, because that's more funnier than the John Wayne part. John Wayne, what goes to John Wayne stuff. But those are two versions. Say, why is there two versions? Well, you'll see what I mean when you watch that. It happened at the same part, so it's not nothing different you've seen before. Just one version they filmed Hulk Hogan doing something. The other part they filled in with a part of a John Wayne film, and then went back to Gremlins. But Gremlins 2 is so goofy. You can tell it doesn't take itself seriously. Joe Dante didn't take himself seriously. But you got Zach Galligan, you got Phoebe Cage, you got Dick Miller, you got the one who played Dick Miller's wife in it. I forget her name. You got John Glover in it. You got Getty Wannabe from, the Asian American guy from 16 Candles and Gun Ho and stuff like that. That guy is in Gremlins 2. And you got Christopher Lee in Gremlins 2, and the voice of actor Tony Randall as the bad gremlin, the one that talks through drinking something, talking, yeah. But you got Spider Gremlin, and you got like gender switching Gremlin. You got Gremlin turns into vegetables all over him. Yeah, so it's pretty out there, but it just gets silly and goofy, and I love it. Gremlins is like scary comedy, but it's it's got Corey Feldman in it, another Corey Feldman picture. But when I was a kid, and that works. I only need Spring Gremlins, and people have seen it. I always need Spring Gremlins 2, people have seen it. But that's my list. Everybody's list is going to be different. So what is your ranking Joe Dante films? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Which ones do you prefer? Which ones you don't prefer? Do you like them all? As I said, let me know in the comments below. And that's it for today. So thank you. And until the next, I'll see ya. And so have a great day, and bye.